Hello and welcome back to episode 10 of the World Conquest Speedrun. In the previous episode, we conquered too many fiefs to count and recruited a few more clans into the kingdom. We left off after taking the castle of Chenopsis, but are being besieged at Varagos and Physion. But first, we must pick our level 225 leadership perk. Much like the previous pick, we go with Trusted Commander for the increased prisoner recruitment speed, this time for ranged units. The priority here is relieving the siege of Physion since castles are much less valuable and easier to take. Since we are being sieged down elsewhere at the same time, it's best to take the fight right now rather than wait for them to lose numbers during an assault. We heavily outnumber them and most likely have higher troop quality as well, but they still have a formidable army and we must be cautious not to lose too many troops. No surprises here. We head out with our cavalry to skirmish with their cavalry archers. We take out an enemy noble, dealing a huge blow to their morale. There isn't a big opportunity here to maneuver, so we set up our shield wall in front and archers slightly back and on the small hill. The enemy infantry form a circle once more, so we take a more aggressive position with our archers on the hill and let them put in some work.
Forward!
I got a little carried away attacking their cavalry that I didn't notice their infantry charge. Our archers are defending well, but we should have been more vigilant here. The main force is dealt with, now we prepare for the reinforcement waves.
Infantry! Infantry! Attack! Kill them all! Movement! Forward! Move!
Our infantry are getting a little overextended, so we pull the reins back some.
Forward! Infantry!
After watching this battle back, I did quite a poor job leading here. We were winning the battle easily, but it was certainly not because of my performance. I chased cavalry quite a lot, and I would have been better off directing the infantry and repositioning the archers. No excuses here, but hopefully next time I can catch myself before doing this again. We lost 242 troops and wiped out an army of over 800. I would have liked to see our losses much lower, but at least we know what to work on for the next battle. With Physion safe, we can move north as we now have two castles under siege, Varagos and Chenopsis. At some point, we also lost Saniopo, so we will take this back first since it's much more valuable. One of the walls are still breached, so we don't need to build any siege engines here. With only 280 defenders, we should be able to clean this up and save the other two castles. Since there is a single breach, we form two groups and begin the assault. There is a significant amount of cover from the rest of the defenders, so we can take our time here. We place our infantry at the mouth of the breach, and the defenders start streaming out to meet us. Not long after, we push through and make quick work of the defense. This guy decides the time is right to attempt a high jump world record before he is cut down. The defenders try to rally a defense, but it's too late and our troops are everywhere. We lose 46 troops and the town is back in our possession once more. It seems the other sieges have stopped, so no need to defend them now. We reach level 225 two-handed, which is a very important pick. Blademaster increases the base damage of all two-handed weapons, while Vandal gives an armor reduction perk per attack for any weapon we use. In this case, we take Vandal, which will help us do more damage to armored targets. We also reach 250 riding and can take Tough Steed for increased mount armor. We vote to give Saniopa back to Mauritius, and hopefully he can defend it this time. Not even a day later, we see these lads casually strolling by, most likely heading south to siege our recent conquest. Fortunately, they turn back towards us, leading to an easy capture. We outnumber them nearly 2-1, and it should be a straightforward battle. We start by harassing their cavalry. Their cavalry are split into two groups on different flanks, so we heavily outnumber them here with all of our cavalry on one side.
Mounted archers! Forward! Forward! Cavalry! Move! Forward! Cavalry! Move! Footmen! Move! Archers! Move! Loose formation! Move!
With the cavalry out of the way, it's time to move the rest of our army into a dominant position. The second half of their cavalry decide to charge our shield wall, so we switch to square formation and mop them up easily. They seem content to sit in circle formation, so we ride closer and try to pick off the nobles. If we can get them to flee early, it will result in less casualties on our side. Lucan takes an arrow to the neck and it sends their whole line into an advance.
Archers!
They move slowly towards our shield square, so we move our archers into a closer, flanking position. They change their mind and decide to come after me directly. Oh god, not the Manablian. We get a clean block off that would have ended us. Time to pick those troops off first. They continue forward slowly towards our archer line, so we reposition the melee troops to sandwich the enemy.
Infantry line formation! Move! Move! Make the shield! Infantry! Forward! Die, you bastard!
I'm not really sure what the thought process here was, but take this as a perfect example of what not to do. This mistake is costing us dearly as the AI taking over command is proving to be disastrous. We lose 160 troops in the end, 80% or more of which happened after I went down, further proving how bad going down before the end of the battle is. So we took several fiefs, destroyed a few large armies, and now we head north to press a little further before asking for peace. Not long after this, we get notice that Veragos Castle is under siege once more, so we change direction and head back south. Since we outnumber them by so much, we opt for an auto-resolve and lose only 16 troops. We already have close to 50 relations with this clan, so we decide to hang on to Fenoria for now. Not more than a couple hours later, we get notice of yet another siege, this time for Seniopa. We have already removed several thousands of troops from the field, so they should be getting near the bottom of their reserves at this point, and any new armies forming will be mostly recruits. This map can be really fun since it's wide open. The only downside is that you start really far away from the enemy. We're over 600 meters away, which seems a little excessive. We are still heavily injured from the previous fight, so adopting a more conservative stance is advised. Thanks to the abnormally large map, we are able to ride back with their cavalry archers and pick them off slowly. Once again, their cavalry sit on the flank and do nothing, so we destroy them with our cavalry.
Move! Forward! Mounted, move!
We pick off one of the enemy nobles, weakening their morale. Our infantry finally arrive, running miles to catch up.
Forward! Soldiers! Move! Forward!
It doesn't take long for them to break circle formation and charge into our infantry. No square formation this time, we give our shields the charge command. Learning the lesson from the previous fight, we retreat behind our archers to ensure we maintain command. They still have a significant number of cavalry roaming, so we stay vigilant.
Horse forward! Move! Move! Horse forward! Move! Cavalry! Forward! Move! Move! Forward! Forward! Move! Form a square!
Go! Run! Everyone, run!
I absolutely love it when an enemy cavalry gets dismounted right into our troops. It reminds me of those zombie movies when they catch some fresh prey and devour them.
Footmen! Archers! Move! Forward! Riders! Charge!
We miss an easy block and pay the iron price for it, but our cavalry are right behind for that sweet revenge. We lose 167 troops, but remove yet another army from the map. I'm not sure how much more of this the enemy can take. Our army is starting to wear thin as well, so it might be time for peace in the near future. Right now, it would cost us 3,100 dinars, which is quite expensive. Things seem to have settled down some, so it's time to disband the army and allow everyone to recruit a few more troops. We get notice of another siege, but most of the parties in our kingdom don't have enough troops to be able to call them into an army, so we make do with what we have. The numbers are even, but we do have the quality advantage based on the balance of power. For once, the enemy is pushing into us. We stick with shield wall and archers and support from behind.
Infantry! Form a shield wall! Archer! Infantry! Forward! Forward! Move! Move! Horsemen! Forward!
Their cavalry charge from the flanks, so we countercharge.
Mounted! Move! Infantry! Hold arrows!
The melee begins and we quickly find ourselves on the bad end of the enemy flank as there are too many archers shooting at us. The initial clash is over, so we pull everyone back to avoid overextension.
Forward! Cavalry! Move! Move! Forward! Cavalry! Forward! Move! Footmen!
They still have a significant number of cavalry, so we switch to square formation and await the next wave of reinforcements. This time the enemy archers are too far back to be effectively targeting us, so we go to work. the dreaded Manavlian. We're just out of range though and he misses. Then take an arrow to the guts. Their foot troops begin to rout and we only have a few straggler cavalry to deal with.
Infantry!
Even with even numbers at the start, we only lose 60 troops in this battle. On the way back to Saniopa, we catch these devils trying to raid our villages. Only 5 losses from the auto-resolve and we don't have to deal with cavalry archers. Nice. I accidentally cut the start of this clip, but we were sieged again at Varagos Castle by 500 troops. The battle starts off fast and furious with the enemy charging straight at us from a short distance away. We use our cavalry to charge into the charging infantry's flank this time. There is so much chaos going on that it's difficult to say how things are going. If you'll notice here, we use our spidey senses to block an incoming arrow to the face with our sword. This was intentional, 100%. The first wave has been dealt with, and it seems as though our casualties are very minimal, so the cavalry charge was effective.
Forward!
They are trickling troops forward into our archer line, which we will allow. We will have no problem picking them off or overwhelming the troops that reach the line. If they came as a single mass with shields up, that would be a different story. They send another wave of scattered troops, but none reach our line because of the volume of arrows being thrown at them. They ram another group of cavalry into our square formation and fail miserably.
Infantry, make a square!
They start to fall back, so we begin to pursue. Another great victory. Less than 60 losses and nearly 600 enemy troops defeated. Another rat trying to raid our villages. I'm half tempted to start lopping heads off, as this is getting out of control. This giant Chad of an Archon though, so let's see if he wants to switch to the winning side. 90% double pass check, 52% single pass check, which is nice because we usually fail that one. And finally an 82% single pass, 3 for 3 this time. Go easy Penton, we've already paid out 5 million dinars in recruiting nobles and can't afford that much more. Oh wow, 500,000, you are hired. Welcome to the family. I didn't realize this, but this is the famous Neretz's family from the main quest line Neretz's Folly. They have Gauss Castle and an incredible 8 nobles in their clan. This was the best 500,000 dinars I've spent in all of my Bannerlord experiences. We have not been sieged in a few days, so it's time to go on the offensive once more. There is another castle to the south that is isolated now, Racel's Castle. This will make a fine addition to the kingdom, so we open up a siege with trebuchet. We bust down one wall and begin the assault. The setup for this castle makes it incredibly difficult to defend since the walls stretch out so far apart. We load up all of our troops on the side with the breach and proceed as usual. Shield wall in the front, archers from behind to support. The defenders can't keep up with the volume of arrows we can put out, and they are falling quickly. We move the shield wall right up to the breach and try to bait the enemy out. They don't commit to a full-scale push, but send a smaller groups of infantry at a time, making it much easier for us to flank them with Satan's Tooth. This is turning into a great way to level two-handed and athletics. We keep taking arrows from far back and will probably go down soon, but I think we've done enough damage to take the clean victory. We issued the charge command and try to dislodge the other half of the defenders. It doesn't take long for our infantry to punch through, and we are storming the castle now. The defenders had not adjusted for the breakthrough at the breach, and we quickly surround the gate defenders. So this is what traffic looked like in the medieval era. We still have to take the keep, but we only lost 41 troops in the main battle. We inflicted 120 casualties with our main character and a ton of levels. 13 more losses for the keep battle and the castle is ours. Our army is significantly diminished at this point since we have been at war for a while now, so it's time for peace regardless of the cost. Fortunately, they won out as well and are only asking for 170 dinars per day. Time to disband the army and let everyone rest and recoup. Resos will go to Achios since he has the most support from other nobles. We spent 16 days gathering troops, updating building queues in our fiefs, and selling crafted weapons for cash. Now we must expand our borders once more. Araconia Castle is on our western border and presents an easy target. The Western Empire has been in a steep decline since we took several of their towns, and we outnumber them nearly 2 to 1. We reached level 31 and have a focus point to assign. We've leveled up everything we set out to from the start, so the choice is insignificant. We go with tactics, which will allow us to auto-resolve battles with fewer casualties. We may use this later when we want to quickly conquer over a weaker foe. We have one breach in the wall and nearly 10 times their numbers, so we commence the assault. This castle design is tough for the defenders as they must run a good distance to get to the walls in the first place, allowing our troops to run up unopposed. The breach leads into this creepy tunnel where we can barely see the defenders. We push through the meager defenses and make our way to the main gate. These militia are little more than placeholders and offer no real opposition for our veteran troops. We lose only 10 men in total. We push west, looking for more fiefs to take, and come across a kingdom member being attacked, so we rush to their aid. Rotea will be the next target and has a reasonable garrison, so we will take this one much slower. 4 trebuchet make quick work of the walls and defenses. The approach here looks awful, as we will be outflanked by archers regardless of which breach we decide to go through. We will use 2 groups once again and move up slowly, looking for a good opportunity to break in. Our melee troops are in place and our archers are picking defenders off the wall, but the enemy is fierce in their defense. We're taking a significant amount of arrows and can't sit like this for much longer. Once more under the breach, dear friends, once more. We must be very careful where we place our archers as we are being hit from many angles. The best solution here is to rush the breach and push as a single unit. Once through, we quickly storm the gate defenders. There is no stopping our troops and we overtake the second breach. All that is left is the wall defenders and the town is ours. You can go 10 paces in any direction here and not touch the earth once. We lose only 76 troops and dispatch well over 600 from a well-fortified town. Now to storm the keep. They are mostly low-tier troops and we sweep them aside easily with our sword. Both nobles own 2 castles already, so the vote here is irrelevant. Achios spent more influence, so we will reward him with Rotea. We finally reach 275 riding and pick up the final perk. We don't do a whole lot of charge damage in general, but the extra maneuver will be nice to have. They took Ataconia back while we were dealing with Rotea, but with only a 100 defenders here, we will easily mop them up. We spend a little time breaching both walls just in case it gets taken again, allowing us to take the castle back much quicker. With so few troops to defend, we opt for a full-scale charge from the start. The battle is over within minutes, and we take the castle back, losing only 8 troops. Some of the defenders are stuck inside the wall somewhere, so we back out and auto-resolve the rest. As we're finishing up, Rotea comes under siege, and we rush back to keep it from falling. The besiegers flee once they see us, and we give chase. They make a wrong turn and get stuck in the mountains, allowing us to swallow their army whole. Our wall of cavalry is quite intimidating, and I'm not sure there are many left in Calradia that can oppose us at this point. The enemy positioned themselves behind a hill, so we swing to the right for a better angle.
Forward!
Their infantry struggle to even reach our lines, but thanks to some terrible reinforcement mechanics, they spawn right on top of our archers. We decide to vent some frustration on these poor horses. We take way more casualties than we should have here thanks to the janky reinforcement system, but it's not a big deal since we have a big army now. We pick up 95 troops post-battle as well, replacing all of our losses. They really want Rotea back, forcing us to return once more to help defend. Unfortunately, our army has slowed our movement speed down significantly, and they retake Rotea before we get there. One wall is still breached and only 190 defenders are present, so we can quickly take this back and rush to Ataconia's defense afterwards. I'm not sure what happened to the recording. I must have accidentally deleted it, but I recall we auto-resolved Rotea and defended Ataconia Castle successfully. While we were defending, another army besieged Rotea, so we rushed back to battle them in open field. The balance of power is fairly even here, and they take position on a hill, so we have to proceed with caution. We have more archers than they do, but they have a significant number of cavalry, so we stay in square formation and skirmish with their archers.
Move!
Fortunately, they positioned their melee troops at the top of the hill and their archers at the base, negating any benefit the hill might have provided them with. We've knocked out enough of their archers to cause them to charge. Look at all those Chad Manavlians coming our way. It's terrifying. They don't have shields, so our archers mow them down promptly. We get taken down once more by, well, you guessed it, a Manavlian. The tricky part here is that they don't have much color to differentiate them from our own troops, so I let this one waddle right up behind us. We can see just how awful the AI is at controlling our troops as we take huge losses. Fortunately, most of our casualties will recover. With so many changes of ownership in a short period of time, Rotea is in bad shape with food. We need to upgrade the orchards first to ensure we don't lose any more prosperity. We also need the militia grounds to help deter enemies from attacking in the first place. We spent a few days stabilizing the town and ensuring we don't have to take it a third time. We release our nobles from the army and they immediately engage the enemy raiding our village. I've never been so proud of my boys. At long last, we reached level 250 leadership. This is probably one of the biggest perks in the game, and Talent Magnet allows us to start a 5th party, increasing our clan's army size by over 200 troops or more. We seemed to have lost several of our clan parties, so time to start them up again. We could give them troops to help them out, but 2 of them are in Maranoth and I don't feel like chasing them around, so we will let them handle it on their own. Patch 1.7.0 was released a few days ago and I really wanted to get this campaign updated, so we're releasing 2 episodes this week from 1.6.5, and moving forward we will be playing on the 1.7.0 beta branch patch. Thank you so much for watching and I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care.